And we're back with me, Johnny McMurray, on the On The Spot Football Podcast with yet another fantastic guest. 20 years in the game, recently retired, and he's here on the spot, Mr. David McClelland. David?
Johnny, how you doing? Good to see you, mate.
Good to see you too, mate. I've seen you quite recently, actually. You've been having your retirement parties up in the house, which
Mate, what a day that was.
It was a good day.
Didn't know a thing about it.
To be fair, it was covered in, tented. The girls.
They went to town, mate. They done really well.
Serious spread too. I think you found me in the kitchen after about 15, 20 minutes.
I was busted. See, 9 o'clock at night, I was gone, mate.
See, that was because of all that whiskey you had and wee bars you've built out the back.
Do you like it?
I do. Actually, I was very, very impressed.
I'm going to put my prices up, mate.
You might have to. See, this is the thing about these wee bars too. Everybody that has one, they never charge an admittance fee, and people just get the drink for free. The only person who it costs you. But you're a giver.
It's good fun.
You're a giver.
Good crack.
So here, how's retirement been? How's it like dinner?
Good. It's been strange sometimes.
Okay.
When you know the lads are training and you're thinking, I don't have to go there tonight, but I'm enjoying my nights not going to training, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But the only time I really got a wee twinge was the crews were playing over in Stranraer there pre-season. So they had the camera there all day and they were doing the build-up and all. I seen Johnny and the new lad that's in and Mark, who took over from me, doing their pre-match warm-up, and I just thought,
that should be me.
But then, I know myself, mate, it's time to go.
Well, 20 years is a long time to be involved in football. Like,
it's brilliant. What a journey.
I think you are missing a wee bit. Now, to be fair, the reason why I'm saying that is because, as I touched on there, we had the surprise sort of retirement party for you, and I think just to round off a few, I think Hoggy was there, Elliott and Ross, and probably a few more came later on when Brad left, but
a few
people must hold you in high expectation now, to be fair. I know I do, but I mean, I'm not a goalkeeper, so I think this is probably
I've built up over the years great relationships with the lads I work with over the years, and not just the goalkeepers. I mean, a lot of outfield players, especially around my time at Glentoran, still really friendly with Big Leaper and Nicky and guys like that. Super lads. So I had the pleasure of Nicky's company for a week in Ibiza at Elliott's stag party.
Okay.
OMG.
Were you sharing rooms?
No,
thankfully.
I did a couple of nights. I did. Oh, he's a nightmare.
Is it?
I couldn't stop laughing.
It's somebody now, to be fair, that a lot of people are kind of...
And Nicky's Italian, he was the best right back ever.
Get him on.
Anytime you mention he just says, Google me.
Right.
Google me.
Might have to get him on, do a wee bit of research myself now, to be fair.
Brilliant.
But here, listen, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure to obviously spend time with the Crusaders. I know it was quite a short-lived time, to be honest, but
it's good, Bob.
we had a lot of fun.
We did.
And what I want to do is I like to bring it back. So anybody who watches the podcast kind of knows the layout of it. I know you do. So you played a wee bit of football.
Yep.
Played a wee bit of amateur league.
Not a lot, yep.
Talk to me about that.
When I was 10, out in Glen, just up the road, Macramona, where the Blue Circle is, Circle Club.
Just outside Larne.
Just outside
anybody
Larne,
who wants to.
So, Mal Donaghy had just signed for Luton from Larne.
Okay.
And me and my mate went up. We always used to go up there and kick football.
Right, okay.
Mess about. We went up this day and Luton were training on the pitch.
Okay.
And I got hooked in. There was a guy playing for Luton, goalkeeper called Jake Finlay, using the Scotland squad. And me and my mate Stuart, we went behind the goal and I just was in amazement at Jake Finlay, what he was doing in the goal.
Yeah. I
just thought, I want to do that. So from I was that age to get well into my teens, like all I ever wanted to do was playing goal. And that's where I got the bug for it. But as I got older, mate, I just enjoyed playing with my mates. I enjoyed playing. I mean, all I ever wanted to do when I was growing up, we had a wee team in Glen called Glen Aztecs.
Okay.
What a team.
Okay.
What a team they were. And all I ever wanted to do was play for Glen Aztecs. Right. So I managed to do that. I started playing for them when I was about 16. And you're straight in against men, like. I get kicked from pillar to post, mate. But I tell you what, done me the world of good.
Loved it.
And then as I moved on, so I just stuck in around the amateur league. Played for Blue Circle, played a bit for the TAC, was at Welly Rack for a while. I'd been offered to go to different places, but I didn't have the mentality to do it.
Okay.
But what I do know now is, after all these years and thinking back, I suffered from anxiety.
Okay.
I used to kick myself, mate, going to play even in amateur league. I used to carry a wee pocket watch, and I used to put it in the goal, and used to look every now and again to see how long the game was there. Honest to God, I did, mate. I did. And Buster Andrews, the late great Buster Andrews, who I work with in Shorts, was manager at Distillery at the time, and he asked me to come down to Distillery, and I went down and trained a few times and played a few reserve games. Mate, this is way back. This is 86, 87. And I just knew then I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I just went back and played in amateur league, messed about. Actually stopped playing when I was 26.
Right.
Oh, I did. Aye.
And you were comfortable with stopping?
Aye, mate. I was the sort of guy that if you played football against, right, I was the one get busted.
Right, okay.
Right.
So you always came out the worst?
Mate, honest to God. I actually played a wee bit outfield as well. Right. So I was playing for Larne Reserves one day down at Ards. I got my left ankle bust.
Okay.
I got it fixed, recovered, come back, and then I was playing in the summer league down in Larne, up at Craigie Hill. You'll know it well, up at the Tech.
Oh, yeah.
And I managed to get my jaw broke.
Right.
That was a nice, oh mate, nightmare. The boys were telling me after, it was the funniest thing ever, right? So I get a guy's knee caught me in the face, right, and bust my jaw right along there. Oh, it didn't, whatever state I was in. I actually thought the boy kicked my head off.
Right.
Right. So the guys were telling me I was running about the pitch looking for my head. Didn't know where I was. Yet I didn't know whether it was Pancake Tuesday or Sheffield Wednesday. I looked through where I was. So I got that sorted. I tried to come back again, and I was playing for Shorts in the amateur league, mate, and I dislocated my shoulder. Oh my God, that was sore.
Is this still while you were playing out?
No, I was back in
You were
goals.
back into this. Okay.
And I dislocated my shoulder, mate, and I said after that, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
So I actually stopped. I think it was 26, 27. I just said, nah, I'm done. But people had told me I was half decent,
right.
But I just hadn't the mentality or I couldn't get over the anxiety to go and take it to the next level. So I just drifted away to the game. So I did. I was out of it until my wee lad was 9. And then he went down to Larne Youth. And so I ended up going down as just a parent. And then I was a parent who
started shouting from the side.
Started shouting a few things from the sidelines. And then they knew I'd sort of played a wee bit. And then the guy that was running it asked me to come in and give my hands. I went, aye, no problem. And then he left and I ended up running the team.
Okay.
So that's how I got back into football. So that was Larne Youth under 10s and then under 11s. As part of that, because of the child protection and all this good stuff, they'd said, look, we'd love you to stay on board. So would you go and do your C licence?
Yeah.
Which was the basic one then, included all the child protection and all that there. I went, aye, no problem. So Jim Grattan took it.
Okay.
Went and done that. And then come back about a few months later. They said, Jim Hagan, who's a good friend of mine, what a player he was, by the way. Probably the best player never got an All-Ireland Cup. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway. Him and Ian McFall, through the IFA, were putting the B licence on and they'd arranged for it to do it down in Larne. So I asked would I go on that and I went, absolutely no sweat. And it was going on that B licence course that through chance and being in the right place at the right time, everything changed.
See, when you talk about doing the badges at this stage, do you feel like you have a sort of like a little bug for coaching, or do you think that that's something that you would like to do? I know you're only taking under 10, under 11, but are you sitting going, maybe this is
no, it was getting involved with the under 10s and under 11s, and I knew I'd made them a wee bit better. And we got the wee cup final, and we get hammered in the final, but that's another story. But that was unheard of. We'd got the cup final, and I'd seen wee improvements. I thought, I fancy this. I'm all right with this. I'll give this a crack. Like, I had no intention of ever leaving Larne Youth.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. I was only through going on the B licence. Oh mate, what a flipping, oh mate. It was done over 10 weeks, right, on a Sunday.
Okay.
At Larne Teg Old Boys.
Booze up every Sunday.
Oh my God.
That's usually the way it lasts.
So Ian McFall took it and Jim Hagan with him, and we had it was, mate, it was everybody I knew. The one and only Sammy Smith was on it.
Mate.
Big John Devine, Neil Canlish.
It's just like a
Paul Harley.
Larne select team, is it? Pretty much all the boys.
We had the best time ever. And after it was over about 2:00 every Sunday, and
Straight in,
good night.
Yeah.
Good night. But it was through that. Friend of mine was on it, Andy Hislop.
Okay.
So we'd done the B license and whatever. And then the IFA was changing all the rules and regulations for clubs to get licenses and all this. And Larne had to introduce an under-18s team.
Right.
So Andy was asked to go and could he develop and create a Larne under-18 team. So he says to me, David, would you come down and give me a hand here? I says, Andy, I'm at Larne Youth. He says, I know, mate, but mate, I need somebody to help me here. I haven't got a goalkeeper. And we just done the goalkeeping segment of the B licence. And Ian McFall said to me after, he says, you've a real knack for that. That was really, really impressive what you've done there. That was really, really good.
See the way you're talking about this, sorry to jump in, but you done the goalkeeping along with a...
Part of the B licence, there was a goalkeeping segment in it.
Because it's all different now, it's all separate.
It's all
so
changed, mate.
they've done two in the one, pretty much amalgamated it.
No, a segment of your B licence had to include goalkeeping.
Okay.
So even all the guys that were there solely to do the outfield bit had to get involved a wee bit in the goalkeeping, but what they done on it, mate, was minimal.
Yeah.
So
I did kind of
Ian just says, here, you do that and put a session on there, and then boys can watch and take notes and what have you. So I put the session on, and he came over to me afterward, and he says, that was really good. Really, really good. Your whole mannerism, how you done it, how you picked out wee faults, this, that, and put wee fixes in place. Really, really good. I never thought nothing more of it. So Andy then, as I say, was starting the 18s team. So I went down, and he says, David, I haven't a clue. I've no goalkeeper. Come on down and get me a goalkeeper. I said, mate, I'll come down and put a wee session on it there, and we'll see. So I went down, and there's 4 or 5 lads down there to come in. But just breaking into the Larne team at that time was a Chris Keenan.
Okay,
Check.
Ah, yes, I know Check, yeah.
What a character he is.
What a man
anyway.
Check is.
So he came down to join in.
Yeah.
So no sweat. Went really well. And the following week, I'll always remember it. It was the same night. Liverpool were playing AC Milan in the European Cup final, or the Champions League final.
That's what, 2005?
2005.
Yeah.
Took that session. That was on a Wednesday night. I got a phone call on the Thursday morning from one of the Larne people. Says, I need you to come up the night to training up at the first team. The manager wants to see you, Jimmy. It was Jimmy McGill at the time. So I went, right. What's the crack here? Is
panicking. Getting the chop, piece 45.
So I'm up and met Jimmy. And I just went into his office and I sat down. Now, Jimmy, anybody that knew Jimmy would tell you he was the worst man in the world for remembering anybody's name. Right. And for 10 months he called me Derek. Honestly. Shocking.
At what stage do you go here, Jimmy?
I says, Jimmy, I'm David. All right, Derek. And his first words were, he says, you're not taking the under-18s anymore. And I went, why? What have I done wrong? He says, no, I want you to come up with the first team. Chris Keenan was telling us all about you. So would you be happy to come to the first team? And I went, aye, no sweat. He says, well, pre-season training starts it was the same day as the Live Aid thing, the anniversary of it. That was 2005, 20-year anniversary of Live Aid.
Okay.
Always remember that. It was out at Larne Rugby Club. So I went out there, and Chick was there, and then next thing, Alex Spackman came over. So Alex, if you remember Alex, oh my God, what a keeper he was.
Yeah.
Remember the semi-final against Ballymena? That season before, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hit it off really well, just clicked, and we went in. I had 2 great years at Larne. So I had, and Jimmy was there to about the October time, and then through family illness or whatever, he had to walk away, and Kenny Shields came in and took over.
Right, okay.
And just changed. That was like a light switch going on. I was. Kenny's a football maniac. That's all I'll call him.
Right, okay.
He sleeps, breathes, and
Dedicated.
football mad, mate. I learned so much of him.
Yeah.
And little did I know, we trained down at Sandy Bay, mate, and it was like training under candlelight.
Yeah.
There was no lights or nothing down there at the time worth talking about.
They're half a floodlight, aren't they? They're like
Garbage.
very
But
small.
we were training down there, and Kenny came in about October time, November time, I think. And obviously I didn't know him and he didn't know me, but he had been watching the sessions with Alex and Chick from afar in the dark. I never seen him.
Mm-hmm.
Again, thought no more of it. And then I says to him one day, I says, because Dean was playing for Hibernian, and I says to Kenny, I says, Kenny, would there be any chance I go over to Hibernian for a couple of days? He says, what are you going to do it for? I said, just to see what way they do things, what way it all works. And he says, believe you me, son, you're not doing anything different than them. I've been watching you.
Yeah.
You keep doing what you're doing. And Kenny was brilliant with me, fantastic. So I seen that season out. Kenny was there, and we had lost 12 games in a row before Kenny came in, and he steadied the ship. And I think we beat Portadown in the last day of the season to stay up. But in between that, we got the semi-final Irish Cup. I mean, I turned down a job in Japan to stay with Larne to go to the Irish Cup semi-final. And we got humped 2-0 by Glentoran and checked through the first one in. We did.
Is this like an all-exclusive trip? Like, was it like a 3-month package?
I was
You're
12
going to
weeks.
Japan?
Yeah.
Like,
So, working in shorts at the time, we were doing a lot of work overseas, Mexico, Japan, etc. And I put my name down to go to Japan.
Right.
So, I thought, this will never happen for months and months. I'll be all right, stick my name down. Guys were going over there, mate, and earning serious dough, like. So, I was sitting at work one day on my phone, it was my boss, and he says, you still want to go to Japan? I went, aye, mate, aye. When do you go? And I was thinking he was saying,
like, give it a couple of, get yourself ready.
6 weeks or whatever.
Right.
He says, I need you to go next Thursday.
Right.
Or sorry, Thursday week, 2 Thursdays time. And I went, oh crap. We play the Glens in the Irish Cup semi-final last Saturday. I'm no going. I says, you're joking me, aren't you? I says, no, mate. This is Larne. This is the Irish Cup semi-final. I'm going to it.
It's mad to think, or like...
He says, you're a dick.
Well, what sort of money would you have, like, you wouldn't have been getting really paid at Larne at this stage, or if you were, probably a few quid, considering what you were going to be getting going overseas.
Turned it down to stay with Larne, mate, to go to the Cup semi-final.
Sure, look what's materialised.
I say we get gubbed 2-0.
Well, here, I was going to say when was the last time I got there, but I mean, up until recent years, it's probably a long time.
Beating the final in 2005, Portadown hammered them 4-1. That was just before I came in. I came in that pre-season after that, and then we got the semi-final the next year.
Yeah.
Well,
that final, I think, last time I had spoke, I think Jeff Hughes would have been...
Hughes played,
he
Robbie. Yeah, Robbie played. Alex played on it.
So a couple of boys, you see the team there that they had, where they were competing and the players were getting moves across the water. It was
weird. Good side, good setup.
Yeah.
I say we had a good side. Kenny bought good players. Oh, we did. Chris Lindsay was down at Larne at the time.
Right.
Mark Dixon.
Right.
Gary McCutcheon. You know, Cutcheon.
Yes.
Bertie Fulton was there. Man, we had a good team. Connor Lynch signed as well.
Yeah.
We had a good team.
McCutcheon's a weird one. I think I was trying to explain this to you the other day, and he's one of the first people. I never really was in the Irish League football at all until I kind of went to Cliftonville and kind of got involved that way playing. And I always remember watching that little TV segment that was on at 5:30.
Before Gladiators?
Before Gladiators, because that's how I was telling you. I was always ready for Gladiators at 6 o'clock. And I always remember this little small Scottish guy who were talking about, the wee Scot, and he was banging balls into the net, and I'm like, who is this guy? But he's the only person I can remember. I can't remember anybody else, but just him.
Mate, he was something else, mate.
Yeah.
So he was. He came over in the boat every Saturday.
Because he went to, I think at the time when I seen this, he was at Crusaders.
He left Larne, mate, to go to Portadown.
Right.
And then he went, if memory serves me right, from Portadown to the cruise.
See, I would have only been a pup then, you know me. I'm not that old, you know.
I wasn't. But Cutchy had the lowest centre of gravity ever, mate. You didn't push him off the ball.
Just a wee rock, pretty much.
He was a great player.
Yeah.
So he was. We had a good side.
Yeah.
Kenny had a real good side, and then through no fault of his own, Kenny got offered a job in the IFA.
Okay.
Doing the elite, whatever it was back in the day. I can't remember. Development and all that good stuff. So it was a conflict of interest, so he had to leave. So then Jim Hagan took over. Probably didn't go as well as what it should have done.
Yeah.
And then Paul Curran came in and seen out the rest of the season. And that's when I get the phone call.
Talk to me about what comes next, because the Glens, obviously we know, and everybody else will know like who Glentoran is.
Yeah.
Glens are a huge club,
Massive.
especially at that time, and we've spoke about this with numerous amounts of people who've been on the podcast who have all played in it. How do you go from Larne, where you were, after a 2-year stint of not being a coach, to then being at one of the biggest clubs in the country?
I told you yesterday. See, when all your stars and planets line up, anything can happen.
Yeah.
I never applied for a job in my life.
Yeah.
In football, so I got asked by Jimmy to go to Larne, and I'd been to a pre-season meeting. So we finished off the season at Larne, 06-07, and I was at a pre-season meeting with Paul and the rest of the coaching staff. That was in the June time, and it was a Tuesday night, and we'd arranged the pre-season schedule when the boys were coming in, and we'd arranged pre-season friendlies. Okay, so the pre-season friendly schedule was we were going to play Island McGee. Okay, we were going to play Wellington Rec, and our glamour tie, with no disrespect to anybody, was Curry Rangers. Okay,
It's not fun.
that was Larne's pre-season. So came home, and next day I got a phone call from a number I didn't know who it was. I answered the phone. It was Alan McDonald.
Right.
I went, wow. He says, hello, is that David? I says, yes, it is. He says, David, I just want to know. I don't want you to answer me now, but I want to know, would you fancy a move and come and be my goalkeeping coach at Glentoran? And I couldn't speak.
Yeah.
And I went, pfft. He says, I don't want you to answer me now. I'm going to give you 24 hours. But if you do decide to come, I want you to do it the right way with Larne and go through the proper channels. I went, that's dead on. I says, have you got a passport? I says, yeah, mate, aye. Because he says, we're playing AIK Stockholm in the UEFA Cup. You'll be going to that. I went, I was buzzing, mate.
Just free trip to Europe, because you're buzzing.
First
Straight
trip to
away.
Europe.
Absolutely.
They played in the Rosunda Stadium in Stockholm, the national stadium. I thought, I have a bit of that.
Absolutely.
Then he says, well, we've just finalised our own pre-season, right? He says, we're starting against Coventry City.
Right.
Then we're going to play Espanyol.
Yeah.
And then we're going to play Manchester United.
Wee bit of difference from Calgary.
I went, well, you've got me tempted here, big man, you know.
Absolutely, you're ready.
So I phoned Paul Curran. I said, Paul, look, mate, I have an unbelievable offer here. I says, what? I said, mate, Glentoran. He says, I'm just going to stop you there, mate. He says, see if you don't go.
Yeah.
He says, mate, I'll basically kick you up and down Larne Main Street.
In fairness, that's very well handled for him, because let's be honest, people understand football and understand the heights that people can get to, and for somebody to be offered something like that and be so open to be like, you have to take it.
I mean, he was 100%.
It's a good friend or a good person, you know what I mean?
How it came about was, right, again, this was all by chance. So Alan was the under-21s coach, Northern Ireland, and Ian McFall was involved with the coaching staff.
Okay.
And they were sitting on an airplane coming back from somewhere for the 21s, and Alan said to Ian, he'd just taken over the Glens, says, Ian, I need somebody to come in and work with my goalkeepers. And the wee light went on with Ian. Says, I have the very boy for you. Give him my name and number. So that's how Alan got my number.
At this stage, when you kind of look back at all this now, do you think that maybe you didn't know how good you were, but these recommendations are coming quite frequent now, so obviously you've made a serious impression, but did you think you were as good as what people did?
No. Again, it's all goes back to the your own self-esteem, and told you, touched on it before, wee bit of anxiety through in there as well.
Yeah.
You'd see driving up to training the first night at the Glens, man, I was kicking myself.
Sweat beating out of you.
I was crapping myself. Right? So you walk into we trained up at Ballyneal, up in, near Cumber there. We trained up there pre-season. And I'm driving up the road thinking, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? So get into the changing room and you just look around the changing room, right? And Paul Lehman's looking at you, Colin Nixon, Mark Glentoran, Elliott Morris, Rory Hamill, Gary Hamilton, Kyle Neal. I was thinking, this is serious here, mate. This is real.
It's levels. It's a massive jump, isn't it?
This is real, but Big Al was brilliant. Alan was brilliant. So Derek McKinley was the kit man then.
Yeah.
So, mate, I didn't even have to ask. Derek says, come on, you and me, and all the kit and all was laid out. And I thought, I never got a piece of training kit at Larne. Rolling in here and there's everything sitting to everything. I says to Alan, Alan, am I here on like a trial basis or am I? He says, son, Ian McFall recommended you to me. He says, that's all I need. Get stripped.
Nice.
And so the first two keepers I had at the Glens was Elliott, obviously, and Michael Doherty.
Yeah.
When then, mate, done a few sessions, it just flowed, mate.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So it was really, really good. And it just went from there to there. But I have to say, mate, one of the only times in my life I've near cacked myself was when we were playing Man United.
Right.
Because normally when the goalkeepers go out to do their pre-match warm-up, right, you're out an hour before kick-off.
Yeah.
And normally there's, especially at Larne, mate, you know, there's 2 men and a wee lad.
Yeah. There's
right. So
Snickers staff. That
night against Man United, mate. So Doc was starting because Elliott had busted his jaw in training. Thanks to Morgo. Morgo biffed him in training accidentally and busted his jaw for him. So Elliott was out for the start of that season. Doc was starting. And we'd signed Willie McFrederick on loan just to cover for Europe while Elliott was in rehab. Mate, I walked down the tunnel to the Oval. There was 15,000 at the game. And there must have been 12 out of that 15,000 in the game an hour before it.
Just ready to see everybody come out.
And there's only 3 people on the pitch. Me, Doc, and Willie McFrederick. And I was standing there thinking, oh my God, right? First train of thought, the ball comes to you. Don't fall. Please don't fall. Right? And then I kept thinking, when I hit this, please go straight. Oh, hey. Please go straight. So Doc hit the ball out to me. I just rolled it and pinged it, mate, and it went. I thought, that'll do me.
Yeah.
I was already there. I was already
there. Ready to go. Playing up the fans and you're like, what is this?
But mate, what a side, man, you sent over.
Yeah.
Mate, that was incredible. Mate.
Well, that's what obviously we had Doc on and Doc spoke quite highly about the game and he was saying about the people he played against, the goalkeepers was the international and Nani and
mate, you know Nani, Vidic, Ferdinand, Michael Craic.
Insane when you think about why they would send them to Glentoran for a pre-season.
They were also playing Aberdeen
right
that night. And we thought, I'll send the Duffers over to play us.
Yeah.
So obviously it split it. So Rooney, Giggs, Alex Ferguson and all was away in Aberdeen. It was Carlos Queiroz brought the team over.
Okay.
But at the end of that season, 8 out of the team that played against us at the Oval at the start of the season played for Man United in the Champions League final. That's how good a team they sent over to play us.
How mad is that?
They beat us 3-0.
They probably
I always remember, mate. I always remember. I always remember. We had a wee lad playing for us called Phil Carson.
Okay.
And Philly was brilliant. He's the funniest wee lad I've ever seen. So the occasion got the better of him, mate. So before the game, obviously the guys from Man United had a word with the guys at Glentoran saying, look, this is a friendly.
All right, take it easy.
Our guys are worth 50, 60 million quid.
100%.
Right? You have a couple of bin men and
everybody's working their jobs, yeah.
So Big Al in the changing room before the game. He was saying, right lads, put a lid on it, you know what I mean? If it's a 50-50, don't be, be sensible. Everybody, yes, Gaffer. We Carsey, mate. See the first time your man Nani get the ball, Carsey scissored. Bust him in two.
Let him know he's there.
Mate.
Welcome to the Oval.
Oh, mate, it's the funniest thing ever. Oh, he did.
What was he like? Because he ended up growing in to become, I think Ronaldo was there at that stage and he had just left, and then he was this new Portuguese player that came in with this flair and tricks, and he was doing backflips when he scored. And
You want to see the goal he scored?
well, that's what we're really
Honest to God, mate.
Unbelievable.
He cut inside, mate, and he just hit it. And it must have moved 4 times before Doc even seen it.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Doc seen it on the way back out of the net.
Yeah.
What a strike, mate. Honestly, you just go.
What do you do?
And then he comes, mate, and does the
Backflips.
whole somersault
There's about
thing.
18 of them and fucking cartwheels and everything.
This boy can play. You know what I mean?
Who can jump like that?
But them boys just made it look so easy.
Yeah.
So it did. So that was my introduction into Glentoran.
You go from where you were at Larne.
Mhm.
I like to bring it all back because it kind of shows the serious jump that you've just taken. But to go and be involved in those games, you then have your first trip in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
What's that experience like?
Oh, mate, that was, we'd played them at home first. AIK Solna was their official name, but their AIK Stockholm.
Right.
And we played them in the August. So we did. Late July, August, early August, whenever it was. We'd no pre-season. We'd only been in a couple of weeks. Them guys had 4 Swedish internationals that had played in the Euros the year before. And when it came to the Oval, man, oh my God, they absolutely annihilated us.
Yeah.
They beat us 5-0 at the Oval, right? Destroyed us, man. We hardly get the ball. It's a training session to them. So all we were making the trip to Sweden was like a
night out.
A bonding session. They never even had a night out.
Oh,
Dave Max says there's no night out. Right? No night out. Because I think the year before it had got a bit boisterous.
Right, people went
There's no night out. No night out. So we went over there, mate. The Resunda Stadium. Massive. What a place. And we thought, these guys are 5-0 up. They'll put the reserves out. Nah. Put the first team back out. And we thought, to be lucky there's 5,000 here tomorrow night. Nah. There must have been 14,000, 15,000 at the game.
Class.
Mate, I think we took centre. I think that was the last time we touched the ball in the first half.
Serious?
Mate, they just barred us. Beat us another 5-0, or was it 6? I think they beat us either 10 or 11-0 in aggregate. How do you compete with boys like that?
It just does show you, whenever you go to Europe, I think not, I'm not going to say now you bridge the gap, because it's
all
not,
changing.
not right, but at the same time, you're getting placed against people at less seed, so that you actually have a chance to get through, and back then you're just getting
back then you weren't.
hammered.
We get absolutely battered.
Rolled on by that.
Oh, we did. But that was my first season at the Glens, and then obviously went into the league campaign, and we done rightly. We done rightly. We won the Antrim Shield, and then we beat Linfield on Boxing Day. That was the first Irish League game on Sky.
Is that your first? Obviously, that was your
first Big Two
Boxing
game.
Day. That would be the same, because the numbers back then.
Oh, mate, the Oval was
like,
bouncing.
you're talking
10,000 there, easy.
Yeah.
Plus, it was on live in Sky.
Yeah.
And Michael Halliday scored the winner.
Yes.
And we done reasonably well the first season, and we run Linfield really, really close. Linfield were flying, so they were. And we played them, I think it was 3 games from the end of the season at Windsor. And mate, honest to God, Windsor was bunged, absolutely rammed. And we played Linfield off the park and drew with them 0-0. And Hammy, Big Alan Mallis was in goals for Linfield. And he saved one from Gary late on in the game, mate, and you just knew this isn't our day.
Yeah.
And Linfield beat us by 2 points that season. But we knew then we had the makings of a decent side here, and we'd give it a real rattle the next season. Next season we went and won the league.
Yeah.
And we did. In between times, what a lot of people forget, mate, we got to the Satanta Cup final.
Right.
November 2008. We beat Drogheda. We went and beat Linfield 4-1 at Windsor.
In the Satanta Cup?
In the Satanta Cup.
Right. I didn't know any of this.
I
didn't know the Glens ever got to the finals.
Oh, I know. 2008. And then we played Derry at the Oval. And we beat them 1-0, I think. And then we went and played Drogheda in the semi-final in Drogheda on their home turf. And Lieber gets sent off.
Right.
So we're playing with 10 men. And then Jason Hill gets sent off.
Right.
We're playing with 9 men. And we're 1-0 up. And they get a penalty. 2 minutes to go. and Big Elliott saved it, mate.
No way.
Honestly, mate. What a night. What a night.
Do you know what I always love about Elliott is the amount of goals he scored?
He scored an own goal. Do you remember it?
I remember that own goal, but I remember it was it was down there, was it the Brandywell?
He was playing for the Glens against Stuart. Marty was in goals, Marty Gallagher.
And he went
and he
just
pinged one.
Struck it from like halfway line.
He hit it and God guided it.
But he also done he hit one, it bounced, didn't it? Was it the wind? And it bounced over. Because I just remember him on the way celebrating.
That was it. That was at the Brandywell against Institute.
So
we saw that match. We'd no game that weekend, and I went up.
Now, he's a great fella, don't get me wrong. Elliott's 100%. Really, really good guy. 100%. But I always just remember seeing him scoring. And I'm like, how mad must that be for a goalkeeper? Like score from.
But I knew he was going to do it.
So mad.
I knew he was going to do it. See, when I seen him putting the ball down, and I knew what way the wind was going, and I seen where Marty was, I knew Elliott was going to smash that, and smash it he did.
Just hit it.
Aye.
He's a great fella.
Brilliant.
We got a good chat there at your retirement party. He's hilarious. Like,
he's a good lad.
Really, really good.
Good lad.
And he's a Glentoran legend. Still there at the club now, isn't he?
Still there. He took over from me, goalkeeping coach.
Right.
So he did. When I left,
obviously he's still doing bits and pieces. He's still doing both, wasn't he? Like coaching and for a while.
Yeah. So his first season after I left, he was trying to mix both.
Yeah, but difficult to do that, isn't it?
He got right royally shafted. In my opinion, they retired him off far too early.
Yeah.
He only had another 2 years on him. No question. No question.
Good goalkeeper, like.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What made him good? Consistent. You knew every week. Now, there was one dodgy spell the year we'd won the league, so we come back in that next year. Start of the 2009-10 season. Dodgy spell. But we worked our way through it.
Yeah.
And we changed a couple of little things and got through it. And mate, unbelievable. See that year we won the league in 2009. I'll tell anybody, even to this day, Elliott Morris made the best save I've ever seen in my life, away to Korean. Right? I don't know how he did it. I seen one very similar when you missed a sitter in Europe. Very similar, but good.
What's that about?
You said it was a good save.
Well, it was, but I mean,
I thought it was a missed sitter, but anyway.
I don't know. I don't know. That big man was like 6'6".
Maybe 6'20".
Christ. We spoke about this. I've never headed a ball better in my life.
I can't remember who the Korean player was, but somebody crossed the ball into the box, and whatever way the ball was coming to Elliott, right, he was going the wrong way. Right, so he's going this way, and the ball's going that way. And next thing I just seen his hand, he's still going that way, and got his hand up and got, mate, we went out and beat Korean 1-0.
Yeah.
And then the next week we beat Cliftonbuff 3-1. That was the day Matty scored the.
He was up on
the fence, mate. What a day that was.
We man could score goals too.
Oh mate, he was good. Took him a wee while to settle in.
Yeah.
And the quietest man you'll ever meet in your life.
Absolutely.
But he knew where the back of the net was.
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
So then again, it's quite difficult too. I was kind of, obviously we spoke about it and we've had him on. His story's incredible because it's one that's probably never going to be replicated. But
see that goal he scored against Portdown, the one that got him to the Ballon d'Or. I don't think Matty mentioned it in his interview. See, about 3 weeks later, Sky TV turned up at our training one night up at Cook.
No, he did.
Oh, did he?
No, I don't know if he did in the thing, but he mentioned it to me and said they came,
Sky came, right? So the stills of where Johnny Black was when he crossed the ball, where it was laid off, I can't remember who laid it off to Blackie, and Blackie just swung on it. And then Matty, I think it took about 3 or 4 goals.
Aye, yeah.
Right? Blackie swung the ball in, and Matty done the pirouette with a back heel. Now, only this time, it went about 2 inches over the bar.
Right.
But he replicated that. He meant that.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
It's one of those things too, like as a centre forward, if you're quite into doing sporadic stuff, you have those weird times in your career where it'll come off. And if you don't try it, it's never going to happen.
I know.
But it will happen at some stage.
I know that. Something very similar to the man facing me.
Well, I mean, I did, like, the mine's different, I think. But we'll get to that because it comes with a different story. But
yeah, but that was in Alan's time there. Here's the irony, and this sums up the big two. Okay, this shook me. Okay, so and Galty was on the other week.
Yes, was on, yeah.
he was telling about David Healy, who won the league, and he got basically everybody telling him how crap they were, but they won the league.
But yes, he was
right. So
worst
that day we won the league in 2009, which, by the way, is the last time the Glens have actually won the league.
Right.
We were in the Park Avenue Hotel because that was our go-to place. That was like our stronghold, the Park Avenue. And sitting around the table. So there was myself, Big Alan, Scotty Young, who was first team coach, and Geordie Neal, he was assistant manager. We're sitting having a drink, and the Gibson Cup mate was sitting in the table in the middle of us. We're sitting chatting away. Place was lively. It was full of Glen men, obviously.
Just probably taking it all in at this stage, being like, what's won the league?
Just won the league. Big Al says, I want you to stay separate with me because I want this to be private.
Moment.
Right, so you're all sitting having a drink. And these 4 or 5 Glen supporters come walking out by us. And they stopped. Says, well done, lads. Congratulations. We're all right, mate. Cheers. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Then this one lad says, can I tell you one thing? Yeah. All right, sure. What? Well, that's the worst Glentoran team I've ever seen to win the league. What's the good? He says, that's the worst. The brand of football he's played's crap. Absolute boring. We just said, mate, we've just won the league.
Yeah.
That was the first year of the league when it had the split.
Yeah.
And it was reformatted. So you played everybody 4 times. And we didn't care how we won. We just wanted to win the league.
I don't think anybody who's in football cares. Like, expansive football is great. And this conversation can go on to the cows come home. But one of the things that I loved the most about Stephen Baxter was that he had a game plan. And it was Billy Joe Burns on the right-hand side. Somebody kicks it to Billy Joe. He hits chicken. He knocks it off. And Paul
Gavin or Paul.
And if you win the league by doing that, no one cares. Like, if you win this Saturday, regardless whether you played crap, you won 1-0 or you won the league, you still win.
Right. So we're sitting there, honest to God, the big pot sitting there, big shiny gleaming pot.
It's quite funny.
And they say, use your crap.
What they want you to do, like pop it about, like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sadly, mate, that was the high point of Alan's Glentoran career.
He doesn't stay too much longer either, doesn't he? Not?
We started off the next season. We'd started off reasonably well. And see football, mate, football's funny. Sometimes it takes you one win to break a run of losing games.
Yeah.
It takes one win.
It kicks you.
The same as a striker. It takes one to win off his back end or something, then you go on a wee run. We've been on a half decent wee run. We were doing okay. We'd started off reasonably well. And it was about November time, mate. And we played Coleraine at the Oval. And mate, Stephen Carson and Rory Patterson ripped us a new one. Beat us 6-0.
To be fair,
at the Oval.
2 seriously talented footballers.
Mate. What a day they had. They had a field day.
Yeah.
It was one of them days. See everything they touched in the net.
Yeah.
That was in November. And mate, the usual at the Glens, we had to walk. The dugouts were on the far side of the park, so we had to walk across the park.
This is where the two old dugouts were. It was down the wee white ones, and it always flooded. I know you're all there. Yeah.
So we had to walk across the pitch, facing the main stand, mate. Oh my God. The noise coming out of that was mental, mate. Yeah. Right. As it turns out, they had a big car park protest. There was hundreds of fans in the car park calling for Alan's head to go.
Right.
We had to get a police escort out of the ground. Had to get the cops in to get us out. So we did. That broke Alan. Alan took a few weeks away after that to regather his thoughts. Come back.
Where are you in the table at this stage?
Oh, mate, we were... I can't remember, Johnny. 4th or 5th, maybe?
It's another one.
Ish.
Probably just their expectations.
We were league champions, mate.
Yes.
And with no disrespect to anybody, Glentoran should not be getting beat 6-0 at home.
Yep.
Know what I mean? That was really put a strain on Alan.
Yeah.
So he stayed away for a couple of weeks, and then he came back. And we'd done sort of okay in the cups. We'd got through the League Cup final. I think we actually won the Antrim Shield. We did. We won the Antrim Shield. And we got through the League Cup final. And then, this was in 2010, February. We played Dungannon down at Stangmore. And they beat us. They didn't just beat us, mate. battered us, played us off the park.
Right.
So you know the way the dugouts are at Dungannon, to walk back up where the changing rooms are?
You're along the wall.
You're along the wall.
Mhm.
That wall, from half the pitch, mate, was 4 or 5 deep with Glen men. And giving Big Al a bit of verbal on the way down, mate. And Big Al never spoke, just kept his head down and walked on. But he resigned on the bus on the way home. He'd had enough.
That was him done.
That was him done. That was the end of Al.
See, before the game happened, did you think that was potential?
I thought, mate, for a couple of weeks it was on the cards, to be honest. I did, because I thought after the Korean game where we got humped, and it really affected Big Al. It, honestly, mate, it bust his boiler. Like, I seen some of the senior players' attitude changing a wee bit, and I actually thought he'd lost the dressing room a wee bit.
Right.
I think he'd lost a wee bit of respect from some of the senior players, because he didn't, because of how it all came about. If you know what I mean, he sort of left us for a few weeks and then come back, and it was a wee bit half-assed for a couple of weeks, if you know what I mean.
You were kind of just left your own devices and some.
Geordie Neal took over, and we went and we played Ballymena. I think, I can't remember anyway. But anyway, Alan came back, and then that Dungannon game was just the end of him. I think he lost the dressing room, so he did. And they say he resigned in the bus on the way home.
Because I know whenever, because obviously Gary's been on, and Gary was part of that team, and I think he said that Scott Young comes in. Scott would end up becoming the manager after Alan.
Yeah.
But was there a big difference in how Scott managed and how Alan managed? And how did that work out for you? Because you obviously stayed on.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but
Scotty asked me to stay on. That was fine. But he wanted to bring his own people in, obviously. So he brought Pete Beatty in.
Okay.
Brilliant fella. Love Pete. And Tim McClelland.
Great guy. Timmy's a rabbit.
Fucking headband.
Yeah, Timmy's brilliant.
So Geordie had left, and there was Scotty, Pete, Tim, and myself was the 4 that were entrusted were running the first team. But hindsight's a wonderful thing. I firmly believe that was Scott's first managerial role. That's a hell of a first job.
The pressure alone.
It's a hell of a first job.
The way I look at this is like anybody who goes into the Irish League at any stage, it's going to be difficult. And
you go to Glentoran,
Glens or Linfield, the big 2.
Yeah,
you're struggling because pressure's on straight away.
Your form in the league's debatable, to say the least. You have a squad of players who perhaps maybe stopped playing down tools a little bit for the previous manager, so he's all that
to try and build back up again.
But yeah, Scott came in and made a statement, an absolute statement on his first night there. We called us all into the bar up in the upstairs at the Oval for a players' meeting. And he set a stall out, mate. So he says, I know none of you guys are my friends. That friendship's now ended. Right? I'm your manager now. I'm here to win football matches. No time for friendship. That was how the meeting started.
Big statement.
A big statement. And then a couple of weeks later, when was that? What wasn't it? End of that season. Leaper was put in the transfer list. Paul Lehman, club captain, legend. It's one of the few decisions Scott made that I would have disagreed with.
Well,
don't get me wrong, Scott Young, I love him to bits.
Yeah. Well, no, I've heard so many positive stories about Scott, and I know that obviously from speaking about him and having people on, people loved him. Said as a footballer and as a coach, he was brilliant. But that's doing that to somebody who's a club legend is you pretty much being,
this is my shit.
Yeah.
I'm driving the truck now.
Yeah, I'm going to set a mark out and I'm going to just, I'm picking you and that's it.
So, it started off great, honestly.
Yeah.
Started off great. We went and we beat Korean in the League Cup final. Beat them in penalties. Again, I think that was the last time the Glens had won the League Cup.
Matty had mentioned that too. I think he actually scored.
I think Matty scored the winner.
Winning penalty, yeah.
And we were 4th in the league. And we just thought this will give us a wee lift here, and we'll have a right rattle. I think it was 8 or 9 games left in the league or something. I can't remember. We said, we'll give us a right go here and see where it takes us, and then we'll build on this for next year. So that was in 2010. Yep. We didn't make it in the league. We fell short. I think we finished 3rd or something. But we qualified for Europe.
Yeah.
Because it was different then. The playoffs hadn't been introduced. It was different then. So I think we finished 3rd. And because Linfield had done the double. Anyway, we qualified for Europe, however way we done it. And we were drawn to play a team in Macedonia called Renova. And we beat them over 2 legs. And then we were drawn to play a team from the Ukraine. What a trip that is, by the way.
Right, okay.
Talk about planes, trains and automobiles.
Right.
Bloody hell, Johnny. How do you get to there? You get a bus from Belfast to Dublin. You get a plane from Dublin to Frankfurt. You get a plane from Frankfurt to Kiev. And you get a plane from Kiev to Poltava. You see, Poltava doesn't have an airport.
Right.
Right? So we'd chartered a plane from Kiev to Poltava. There's no airport in Poltava. But what there is a disused Russian military base. Right? But the runway's no made out of tarmac. Right? It's made out of concrete.
Okay.
You try landing a plane in concrete. Mate.
This is after your 3rd flight.
Mate.
This is like...
My teeth near fell out.
Yeah.
Mate, unbelievable. But that trip to Macedonia, I'll tell you a funny story about that. So we chartered a plane to go to Macedonia.
Yeah.
And Andy Waterworth, right, is absolutely terrified of flying.
Right.
Right.
You know that,
So
Andy.
we all turned up at the international airport.
Okay.
And we're walking around to where we needed to go. So obviously you've got all these big EasyJet planes and Ryanair planes and all this good stuff. And there was this wee piss fart of a thing sitting. Right. It was like a Smarty tube of wings, right? Mate, Andy took a panic attack when he seen the plane. He says, "We're not going on that." I says, "Mate, we are." Mate, he actually tried to run out of the building to get out of the airport.
Right.
I mean, he was absolutely petrified. So Scotty says, "Andy, you can't leave us. You're going. You have to go." I can't. So a couple of us were tasked to take Andy round to the bar.
Right. Get him like...
See, when he got on the plane, he was poleaxed. He got on the plane, mate, sat down and just keeled over. Oh, mate, that was the funniest thing of
You
it.
don't say, give him a few diazepams, just
Yeah,
go to sleep.
that was hectic, mate. That was brilliant. But Scotty had signed good players.
Yeah.
Best signing he made, in my opinion, was Stephen Carson.
The winger?
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
He left Korean and come to us.
Nice.
Mate, what a player.
Yeah.
And the nicest fella you ever meet. Brilliant. So we were sitting in the hotel room in Macedonia. And Scotty was doing his team talk, all big and bravo and this here and all that there, all about the Irish League in Europe and all this, Glentoran's history in Europe and all this. And he was saying, you know, a lot of guys play their whole career in the Irish League and never get a chance to come away and play in a stadium like this and play in Europe. What an honour, what a privilege. I'll take a senior player here. Stephen Carson, when was the last time you played in Europe? And Carsey says, against Borussia Dortmund. Right. Scotty went, "Oh, shut up, Carsey." Carsey had played for Rangers against Borussia Dortmund. So he just picked them around him, Borussia Dortmund.
Worst
How do you beat
ever.
that?
I know, worst person ever. He's saying going like, you've actually played.
Yeah, that was mad. We beat them over 2 legs. Big Hoggy played because Elliott got sent off in the first leg.
Okay.
And Hoggy played in the second leg. And we beat them in penalties and Hoggy saved 2 penalties. I said to Hoggy before, I said, "Hoggy, you need to save me 2 penalties here, big man. You need to save me 2 penalties." And big Hoggy's brilliant, mate.
Yes.
Cool as cucumber.
Hilarious too.
Cool as cucumber. He just looked at him. He's putting his gloves on, mate.
Laughing probably, just like, oh, hit on. The
Leave it-
bread man.
Leave it with me, bread. The bread, man.
The bread.
Leave it with me. Save 2 penalties, mate.
I used to see him every morning when I used to manage DW up in Shaw's Bridge. Obviously used to train a cook, so in the hotel. And every morning I was going up the Arm Road, he was coming down the Arm Road in the bread van, and he would always be like, just waving at you.
Bagel hands, we used to
Yeah.
call him bagel mitts.
Brilliant.
No, we did. Hoggy's brilliant.
Yeah.
See, towards the later end there, so Elliott was Elliott and Hoggy were the two keepers, mate. I used to love. I couldn't wait to get to training.
Yeah.
The training we did, mate, was top drawer, but we had a bit of fun as well. And them two are two headbands, mate.
Mm-hmm.
So they are, and two great guys. And I used to love going to training with them pair. Oh, I did. So that's. We went to then. We beat the team from Macedonia, qualified, played Vorskla Poltava. The next week, they beat us 2-0 at the Oval. And we went to the Ukraine, round the world for a shortcut, mate. That was a trip from hell, by the way. There was an incident in the Park Avenue that was the scariest 3 minutes of my life. But it turned out to be, see footballers, mate, footballers' wit and humour.
Yeah.
Right? There was an incident in the Park Avenue where, I'm sorry to say he's not with us now, but Geordie McGill. So we were having our pre-match, we were leaving, so we had a meal before we travelled down to Dublin. And we're all sitting, eating and chatting away and whatever. And next thing, Geordie stood up, right? And mate, he had water flowing down his nose, down his face. And his arms were up in the air and all this here. And I thought, fuck, he's in trouble. Then it caught on, he was actually choking. So I sit and watch him, mate. And I seen Tim went over and tried to do the old Heimlich. Nothing was happening, mate. It wouldn't budge.
Yeah.
And I thought, shit, I need to do something here. Because I'd done a bit of first aid in work. So I went over. And I took Tim out the road. And I lifted Geordie. Geordie was on his way out, mate. Honestly, I was, I'm going to say the word, I was shiting myself.
Yeah.
Right? I lifted Geordie by the collar, the back of his neck. And I lifted him up. And I said, Geordie, look at me. I said, this is going to hurt. And he just looked at me. And I bent him over my knee, mate, and I whacked his back as hard as I could. Nothing. But this time, mate, the whole room had stopped and were watching me.
Yeah.
I think, oh my God. And I lifted him up again. This time, honestly, mate, you want to see the fear in his eyes. I said, Geordie, look at me. Stay with me. And I got him over the guy there, mate, and I held him, the guy there, and I gave him them 2 fingers, and I stuck him down his throat. Oh, I did, and I just pressed up. And next thing, he booked it all up, mate. Oh, he did. I tell you, mate, scary is not a word.
No, pure fear, that, isn't it?
I never slept the whole trip. Anyway, that's another story. But talking about the humour that's brought to it from a situation. So we in the airport in Frankfurt, which stopped in with a bite to eat, waiting on flights and whatever. So somebody had said, put their hand up to the waiter. Could you puree Geordie's food? Right? Oh, you cheeky. It's Big Elliott. Right? Can you puree Geordie's food? Right? And then about 20 minutes later, right? Somebody says to him, so George, what was it? Was it a film, a song, or a book? He says, we thought you were playing charades. Just lighting the whole mood.
Just takes you back, doesn't it? Yeah.
Funny people.
That's the best thing I think about, one of the best things about football is, like, if you take grief badly, you're not in the right place. But if you can take a joke, it's coming at you 100% of the time.
Skin, mate.
And if you roll with the punches, it's hilarious.
Thick skin.
Some of the stuff that's happening.
Honestly, mate. So, that was Poltava beat us. That was the first game in Europe where, mate, it was roasting. And that was the first game. The referee had said before the game, we're going to stop after half an hour for water breaks.
Yeah.
Mate, we were playing brilliant. We were playing really, really well. It was 0-0. The referee stopped the game for a water break. Disrupted our whole flow. Disrupted everything. They regrouped. By half time, mate, we were 2-0 down.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it finished, 2-0. But that ruined us. So it did. And people didn't understand how hard it is for Irish League teams to go away and play. You know it yourself. Going away to play. We played in Israel, mate. Israel. You know what I mean? We went out for a pre-match walk, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We walked 12 paces down the road and Big Alan says, bugger this, inside. It's over 40 degrees.
See, that's like, you can't climatise that. You have a day.
Right.
You have a training day before.
We were there the day before we trained. Down. What a place that was, by the way.
Yeah. Israel.
Israel. We stayed in Haifa. Right. In Maccabi Haifa. Right, which is on the border with Lebanon. It's the only hotel I was ever in with a barman had a gun.
Right.
I swear to God. They were always fearful of attacks. Nightmare. Anyway. So we went out. The game didn't start till 9:30 at night. 9:30. Right?
How do you even get ready for it?
9:30. Their time. Right? And I have a photograph in the house of the scoreboard at the end of the game. Right? So I think it was a quarter to 12, whatever it was. Maccabi Haifa 5, Glentoran 0. Right? That time of night, it's 32 degrees.
See, you can't play.
Right? Our guys were out in their feet.
Yeah, you
busted.
can't do that. That's
busted. But we knew we were tough before we started.
Yeah.
Right? So you imagine us boys all out. Glentoran got a brand new strip and a new sponsor. Right? Phone a cab. Maccabi Haifa come out, mate. You want to see the kit they were wearing? I thought it was made out of silk. Right? And they just signed a player the day before we played them for like 5 million quid.
right. Okay.
I remember Aubrey, the chairman at the time, had been shown a tour of their training ground, costing mega bucks. And me and Colin Nixon were standing there. But we were, and Maccabi Haifa all trot out for the pre-match warm-up. And this white strip, mate, you want to see them. And they're all bronzed and they're all big
Machines.
lads,
Yeah.
and their sponsor was Honda. Honda.
Right.
Mate, we're standing there with phone a cab. You know what I mean? Nicky just says, mate, we're in for a tough night here. They battered us.
Yeah. But it would be difficult. Anybody that goes away and plays in Europe's difficult anyway. But trying to acclimatise a 30-degree heat. We went to Gibraltar.
Oh, mate.
And we watched the Larne game first.
Oh,
and
mate.
played ourselves. And it was only probably, 26. And this was at 7:30.
It was
So hectic. Jesus.
No, it was.
It's wild.
So getting into that season, again, we'd started off reasonably well, mate. But you know the way one game can turn it for you?
Yeah.
So we had Carsey, with Gary Hamilton, who, no disrespect to you, is the best centre forward I've ever seen in the Irish League.
Easily.
But I never got to see you playing centre forward because you were right winger.
A cruise then.
Cruise, all right. And that's another story.
Yeah.
So you had Carsey, Hammy, and Andy Waterworth. What a strike force.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Right? Just give Carsey the ball. Put it on a plate, mate.
Yeah.
And see from the start of the season until about October, November, on fire, honestly. And then we played Cliftonville in the Antrim Shield final at the Oval, mate. And if you remember the really, really good Cliftonville side that was starting with through under Tommy Breslin, you had John D, Ryan Catney,
Yeah. George was there.
Jordy McMullen was there. Liam was up front.
That was before he
Not
went
sure
to
Joe
Border
McMullen
Bremen.
Yeah, that was before he went.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether Joe had just broke into the team or not. I can't remember. Mate, they didn't just beat us at the Oval that night. They absolutely played us off the park.
Yeah.
What a team. That was good Cliftonville side. But that changed our season.
Yeah. Aye, that wee crack started to appear then. And
Now, to this day, I don't know what happened between Gary and Scott. I've no idea. But the wheels fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
And they fell out over something. I don't know what it was. And that just led to a downward spiral. Gary couldn't get in the team. He went with Carsey and Andy, and I think Matty was breaking into the team, or whoever else, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And that just spiraled downhill, mate, until the infamous day when we drew Newington in the Irish Cup 2012.
Well, we spoke about this. This has been on.
Mate.
How do you think about that, though, from your perspective? Obviously, you're on the side of the pitch as a coaching staff. You're not playing. You obviously couldn't score. Do you know what I mean? You obviously played the game against Newington, but...
If it had played at midnight, we wouldn't have scored.
Yeah.
But the irony of it is, we'd signed a big centre-half, Scottish lad, whose name escapes me at the minute. Stuart Gresham, I think it was, something like that.
Right.
And Scotty put him straight in the team.
First game?
First game. Mistake. Ball either bounced over his foot, or he went to control it and went underneath him, or whatever. Anyway, he made a mistake. Bish bash bosh, goal. 1-0.
Yeah.
We couldn't get that back. Mate, I think we hit the post 4 times in that game. Marty Murray hit the crossbar. I remember that. It's clean. We were hitting the post. Man, it was one of them games. You just knew.
Yeah.
And I'd seen Alan broken. Scott Young was broken after that game. Resigned immediately after it. And we did. Broke him. That was Scott. Scott hasn't coached a football team since.
No.
2012.
Yeah.
So then Coyler came in, took over in the interim. And again, Coyler asked me to stay. He asked Tim to stay. Pete, obviously Scott and Pete were best mates, so Pete says, look, no disrespect, but I'm going with my mate here, so I was fine, no issue.
Yeah.
Coyler steadied the shit a wee bit. I think he was there for 5, maybe 6 games.
Yeah.
And then in the February, Eddie came in. So it did. And
Well, that's Eddie and
Tiernan,
Seamus.
yeah. Big Chew.
Big Chew.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Tim was also still there, and I was there. But the feng shui wasn't right, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
So it wasn't long after Tim left, and then I took a sabbatical as well. I had a difference of opinion with 2 of the coaches.
Which is
So
common.
But I was back on my man.
Yeah.
Who was Elliott, who in my opinion was unfairly blamed for a defeat. And I just said, no, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Did you feel like you had a lot of conflict that way with Emmons in terms of, obviously you managed goalkeepers.
Yeah.
From my experience, Seamus was always defensively minded and he worried about how they set up and defences and obviously turning on it, but
Yeah.
I mean, likes to have an opinion on most things.
Yeah. To be honest, I'd felt things maybe simmering a wee bit for a few weeks. And I think that just brought it ahead. We played Linfield on the Tuesday night. And Linfield beat us 3-0. And we played Crusaders at Seaview on the Saturday. And it was yep about the Linfield game. And Seamus came down and said to me about Elliott cost us the game, all right? And what are you talking about? And he went through the goals and I says, hold on a minute. And I demonstrated it down in the goal at Crusaders. First one was a cutback. I said, you want Elliott to leave his starting position here to go and attack? You're telling me you want him to go and attack a cutback outside the 6-yard box for a guy to hit it first time into the goal? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then one of them was a 1-on-1. Peter Thompson, Pistol Pete, beat him. I said, what about the 10 players in front of Elliott? How did Pete get through that for? Do you take that into account? And we just said, look, we're never going to agree here. I can't do this. So on the Monday, I phoned Eddie and I says, Eddie, can't do this. And he went, well, Dave, you know I'm going to back my 2 lads. I went, Eddie, that's fine. No sweat. Absolutely no sweat. So that was on Monday at 4 o'clock and it's Sunday in and 6:30 on Monday night. Team A, please. Who did it?
1s and 0s, as some people would say.
Yeah.
1s and 0s.
So I hadn't been away 24 hours, and Big Graham McConnell come up. He was at Larne at the time. He says, mate, I hear you've left. I says, aye, mate, aye. He says, down to Larne tomorrow night. I went, Graham, no. He says, down to Larne tomorrow night. So I went back to Larne for a few months.
Okay.
Until it all thawed out. But Larne had a great... going back to Larne, mate, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was like somebody putting new batteries into me.
Yeah.
Right? Because down at Larne, we talked Chick back in to come back. He was playing with his mates at Willie Rick.
Yeah.
He says, wind you and again, back to Larne. Sturdy Keane was there.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Pickham was there.
Yeah.
Wee Scotty Irvine, he was on here, was there.
Giggsy was there.
Giggsy was there.
Craig
Wurzel.
Toddy. Yeah.
The 2 Todds were there, actually.
Yeah.
Brilliant. The craic was mighty.
Mm-hmm.
The craic was mighty. We should have walked that league, mate. But
Yeah.
we didn't. For whatever reason, we didn't. So I really enjoyed getting back down to recharge my batteries. Anyway, whatever had happened at the Glens, who they brought in or whatever, it wasn't working. So Elliott phoned me. He says, mate, would you come back? I went, I'm not sure, mate. He says, mate, seriously, would you come back? I went, aye. But clean slate. So he said, mate, it's all sorted. They know they were wrong. They know. So I went back, shook hands with everybody. Welcome back. We'd qualified for Europe, right? And I'm standing in the hotel room in Slovakia. We were playing Zilney or something. We were staying in the hotel. I'm standing with my key, my room key, right? Looking at me thinking, who am I sharing with?
Or is this to me and my own there? Am I getting a wee lucky?
Did I get a wee lucky one here? Right? Who rocks over? Seamus. Eddie had put us in the same room. Best thing ever done, mate.
Yeah?
Best thing ever done. Me and Seamus talked the whole thing through the whole night.
Yeah.
No alcohol. We were sitting drinking juice. Just says, right, we need to sort this out. And from then on, mate, no sweat.
Yeah.
There was a newfound respect for what I did and for what they were looking to do.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing Eddie ever done. I've met Eddie several times after it, and there's absolutely no, it's 100%.
There's no animosity.
None whatsoever.
Yeah.
I respect I have for Eddie.
That's the way you want things
because
to be, John.
Eddie was dealt an absolute shit show of a hand to play with. Because the whole arse fell out of the club with an eye. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. But Eddie was still expected to qualify for Europe and win trophies. You know what I mean? And the players we were losing, hand over fist, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy left, Jimmy left, Sean left. I mean, you were losing players hand over fist. Sucker left, he could have moved to Swindon.
Yeah.
Carsey had gone. Say Andy was away. What are you supposed to do?
Or especially when they're your starting players, you lose 5 or 6 out of a starting team, you're going,
yeah,
we're struggling.
So then, that was only a matter of time before that went, because there was a real conflict between Eddie and the then chairman, and it all came to a head. We had actually played really, really well. We drew with Linfield at Windsor. Again, at Linfield were flying. Stephen McClelland was playing then. Eddie had brought Mackers in, and
you would have had quite a young team then.
Very young.
I think Val McCaffrey would have been there. Tom McGuigan would have been
there. John, Jim Holland.
Yeah. Marty Murray.
All needed time to
bed in.
Good players. Really good players. But it was inconsistent, as you would expect. So we'd had a wee run, not great. We went to Linfield. We drew 0 each. And then we played Craic at the Oval. And we beat them 3-1, I think, if I remember correctly. And Eddie got sacked after the game.
Just out of the blue?
Out of the blue. Stephen Henderson called him up the office and sacked him. And the reason he gave was, Eddie came down and he spoke to us and he says, look, these boys are getting rid of me. Because they say we're not playing an attacking, exciting, Glentoran style of football. I said to Eddie, what do you want us to do? Play like Real Madrid and get beat every week? Or what do they want? So that was the end of Eddie. Gone.
How long did you manage to stay after Eddie's tenure was done?
Eddie left in 2015 and I left at the end of the season in 2018, or 3 years.
So who came in after Eddie?
Coiler came in again for another wee while.
Coiler's
like John Wayne. Right?
Back through the door. As soon as people get the chop, he's the man to...
Coiler's brilliant.
Things, yeah.
Coiler's brilliant. I love Coiler. It's dry wit. It's incredible, mate. So Coiler came in again, and then Alan Kernahan come in. Kept on Seamus, Tiernan, and Chew, because
yes, he was the guy from down south. Was that
Alan? He played in the World Cup for the Republic of Ireland, but he was involved at Dundee, and he was something to do with Rangers at the time. But this was his first big gig,
right?
And he didn't want him at the league, on a clue. So that's why he kept a bit of experience on. When was that? 2015. We were wick, mate.
Yeah,
we were piss poor. And that didn't last long. In the sidelines of that, we had the Nacho Novo circus that arrived in town, mate. You know, Nacho was part of the club.
I got a good night out with him one night.
Aye, mate.
I actually really liked him when he was on the booze.
Aye, he's a headband.
Yeah, really good crack, actually.
Header. But he was done, mate. Nacho will tell you, he was finished, mate. So Alan was trying to deal with all that. Maybe lasted... When did Alan come in? Back in one season, then the start of the next season, 2016-17. And we went down to Anna, the League Cup. Got turned over.
Yeah.
Turned over by Anna, who were the PIL at the time. That was him going, see you, bye-bye. And then Gary came in, Gary Hebert, and Nilsey. So again, Gary asked me to stay on. So there's only the three of us. He didn't want any more coaching stuff. So there's only the three of us, me, Gary and Millsy. Again, mate, started off really, really well. We ended up in Detroit.
Right.
Went to play a friendly in Detroit. How mad's this, mate? So it was the 50th anniversary of the Detroit Cougars.
That's right, Glens went across.
So they had come over, their staff and all, had a look around the oval, all the history, and then somebody had a few quid. Says, why don't you just come over and play us in Detroit?
Club's ears picked up.
I mean, well, if you insist.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was
Right?
no.
How mad was this, mate? Right? We left Belfast on a Thursday, right? Travelled to Detroit via Amsterdam, trained on the Friday, played on the Saturday, and come home on the Sunday.
You know what? They didn't get a few days out of it.
That was the trip.
Done.
That was a trip. What a trip. Mate, we still talk about it now. It was mad. We stayed in the Motor City Casino Hotel.
Right.
Oh, man, what a place.
Class.
And we went down in the casino one night. It's underground underneath the hotel. It's massive. There's no windows in it. There's no clocks on the wall. So you don't know if it's daylight. You don't know nothing.
Like a zombie.
Mate, I stood beside this guy. He was Asian. Man, I never seen anybody putting $100 bills into a slot machine like it in my life. I went, mate, you have too much money.
Yeah.
You know, me and Johnny.
Gonna buy into the Glens.
Me and Johnny went, he says, come on, we'll Johnny Cummings, a physio. Come on, mate, when in Rome, do as the Romans. One will buy a few. I says, wise up, Johnny. He says, I fancy the old,
Blackjack.
what do you call it? 21 or bust. What do you call it? Blackjack. He says, come on. I went, oh, mate. He says, you can't come away here. So I went and get $50 change, mate. $50. I thought I was Johnny Rockefeller.
Yeah.
And he get $50. We had 100 quid between us. Right? See, 30 seconds later, we had nothing. Result show, data.
Got it. You're walking away going,
Fuck. Never again, mate. Yeah. Your man standing beside the machine, mate, putting 100 quid in. Never stopped me. And I went, I'm in the wrong place here, mate. Again, Gary, we started off really well. So we did. We beat the Blues. With through good results, we beat Ballymena. I remember that. And again, mate, one game changed everything. Well, it did. We played the Cruise in the Antrim Shield, or was it the League Cup? Someone of the two, I can't remember. But Stephen, in his wisdom, had decided it must have been the Antrim Shield because he put basically the reserves out. And they absolutely battered us, mate.
no way.
They tore us apart. Crews were brilliant, and they honestly, they were superb. Absolutely tore us apart. And this is maybe 8 or 9 games into the league season, 10 games maybe. And we've been doing really well up to that. See, after the Crews hammered us, mate, we couldn't have scored furniture.
Yeah.
Honestly, we were all over the place. I think we actually ended up 9th in the league that year. 9th. How does that come? How does that work? Again, mate, the club was a shambles, mate. I'm not going to lie to you, right? Hadn't a pot to pay in. We had no training facilities. We were training up at Mollusk, and it was obviously pre-season. There was no goalpost, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just like grass.
Yeah.
We actually ended up training down in Larne, the cliff.
Right.
Glentoran, we're driving from Belfast down to Larne to train because nowhere to train. Hadn't a pot to pay in. It was ridiculous. And the players we were trying to sign, you know, we were offering what we thought was decent corn to decent players. But they signed for teams that they weren't going to get playing for, but they were happy enough to get more money to go and sit on the bench.
Yeah.
That's the market you were in. But again, Gary was still expected to produce and perform. So again, Ards beat us at the Oval, mate. Gary get the heave-ho. And then Ronnie McFall come in to steady the ship until the end of the season. By that time, mate, I knew it was
10 to go.
my time.
How quickly after the Glens, and you exit, obviously you've been there, I think at this stage you've probably
11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a bit of a change, but you end up with Crusaders.
Did.
How's that come about?
Again, mate, I'd made a couple of years before. Big Roy McDonald, Alan's brother, was the goalie coach at Crusaders, and I'd made a tongue-in-cheek comment to him one day. We were playing the Cruise at the Oval. I was having a chat to him. And tongue-in-cheek, I says, mate, whenever you retire, how good would it be with a connection with Alan? Mate, that was maybe 2 years previous. So I was in work one day, and Charlie Murphy also worked in Shorts, only in a different factory. So he phoned me into work one day. Sorry, I wasn't at work. I was at Belfast Harbour working. And Charlie was working in Shorts. That's how I knew Charlie. So Charlie phoned me and says, expect a phone call, mate. I went, Charlie, what are you talking about? He says, Stephen Baxter's going to phone you. I'm just wiring you off here. I went, right, no sweat. So Stephen phoned me. He says, hi, David. Stephen, would you be interested in a career change? And I went, yeah. Because I knew my time at the Glens had run its course, mate.
Yeah.
And he says, tell you what, come and meet me for a coffee. So we went down, he'd still the sports shop. There's a wee coffee place over the road. Bill and Birch or something it's called, or can't remember. Met him in there. Had coffee. Sold it to me.
Very good at that.
Sold it to me, mate.
Yeah. So approachable, to be fair to him. He's
mate.
got a really good way
We
about
had,
him.
we had really, really good conversation
So did I.
about what he expected, what he wanted. And I said, Stephen, I tell you now, me and you will not agree all the time.
Yeah.
There will be times when we have a difference of opinion. And he says, that's what I want. I want to have that debate. He says, that's what I want. Signed on the dotted line, mate. That was me.
7 years.
I was there for 7 years.
Good 7 years.
Aye, mate. Brilliant. Oh, no, it was. It was fantastic, mate, honestly.
In 7 years,
So
8 European trips or something.
Aye, mate.
And he's were in Europe all the time.
Aye, mate. So first game, I think, was away to Ludogorets
Yeah.
from Bulgaria.
What a team.
Bardas.
But then again, they are a renowned European.
You walk in, you walk
force.
down towards the dressing room at Ludogorets ground, mate.
Yeah.
And there's this big glass cabinet, right, where all the teams have played in Europe. And you're walking down by it, Valencia, Arsenal, Celtic.
Yeah.
And you went, oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, you're struggling there.
You know what I mean? Going to the Cruise, mate, again, it was like a breath of fresh air. Right? But I remember before I left the Glens, mate, Ronnie had come in, Ronnie McFall. And Ronnie was brilliant. I loved Ronnie to bits, mate.
Yeah.
And me and him took to each other like a duck. It was brilliant. But Ronnie's an awful habit of when he's talking to you, at the end of every sentence, he says, right. So can you imagine his team talk to John McGuigan when he says, John, I need you to stay out on the left, right? Mate, we're all sitting. You want to see me, John's space, mate?
It's just,
He go, what? Stay out on the left, right? Well, that was hilarious. But anyway, so went to the Cruise. Obviously, Sean was there. I knew a few of the players. Wardy was there, and Cruise had a great team. League champions, defending league champions, mate, brilliant. Gavin was still there, but he left. He was on the verge of leaving. Paul, Chicken, Philly Lowry, what a player!
unbelievable.
Most underrated midfielder in the league.
Unbelievable.
Brilliant.
Even that, was it last year or the year before?
What
The year I just left,
20,
he's
20 odd
20
goals.
odd goals from Middle of the Park.
Phenomenal.
Machine he is.
Good pro. Sean and me hit it off right away, mate.
It's hard not to hit it off.
Sean's
in
brilliant.
fairness, yeah.
Sean's the most infectious character.
Yep.
Around the changing room, around training. But see, when Sean's training, mate, honestly,
He's on it.
he's a machine.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. And with big Harry Doherty had come in from Craic, was number 2. So first season, mate, we won the Irish Cup, won the Antrim Shield, won the Irish Cup. Through winning the Irish Cup in 2019, we got the draw.
Yeah. The big draw.
The big one.
The biggest
So,
draw.
The big S draw. So we'd played, first of all, we were drawn against a team from the Faroe Islands. BK Torshavn or something like that there. You ever been to the Faroe Islands?
No.
Don't go.
Right, okay, fair enough.
Bloody hell,
I
mate.
think I was saying it's like a paradise, but
I used to think I was working class, mate, and then I went to Faroe Islands and realised
So
I'm
different.
doing all right.
yeah,
Mate, there's nothing but fog.
right. I thought it was going to be like one of these wee
Mate, we never seen,
island places. No,
I never seen none.
right.
I could hardly even see the pitch. We didn't even know the game was going to be played. So we beat them. We beat them at Seaview, and then we went out there knowing, because the draw had been made. See if we beat these boys. We're playing Wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves. So we went out and beat them, mate. Brilliant. Flew straight home after the game. Couldn't believe it. The next Wednesday night, mate, we were going to play Wolverhampton Wanderers.
You went to Molyneux.
Went to Molyneux first.
Yeah.
Who just finished 7th in the Premier League.
Class. That was their first time.
It was their first time in Europe in 40 odd years. Okay. So we went over. Mate, it was baking hot, 30 degrees again. It was roasting. Trained in the ground the night before, as you do. So there's us in Molyneux, mate, looking around, just taking it all in. Wow. And the wee groundsman was there. He let us in and all this here. We're chatting away to him. He says, what do you expect in the morning night? He says, what do you mean? I says, you expect 15, 20,000 maybe? He says, maybe we could have sold this place out 4 times over.
Class.
Full house. And then Barney was with us. And Barney says, when they were arranging the away leg, Cruz asked Wolves how many tickets would they like.
Your allocation. Usually you only can get out about...
Wolves said, could we get 4,000? Barney says, I'll give you 400. Mate, we had a team meeting in the afternoon, so the boys had been sent away for a kip. And big Spearsy. What a character, Spearsy.
Sure.
Brilliant. Stevie, myself, and Charlie sitting having a cup of coffee in the afternoon. And reality kick in, mate. Honestly. You just had this feeling in the pit of your stomach. So we were all saying, what's a good result here, lads, to get out of here with? Right? And we thought, if we keep it below 6, we're doing well. Honestly. See if we get out of here with a 4-0. That's a great result. In fairness to Stephen, he got it spot on. Tactically spot on. Okay? And we frustrated the life out of him. 32,000 people. Do you know who scored the goals for them? First goal? Number 20 for Liverpool.
Jota.
He scored the goal.
Mad.
Oh, he did. Mate, it's 32 minutes. Jota scores 1-0. He thought, fuck, floodgates are going to open here. 89th minute, still 1-0. 90th minute, still 1-0. Linesman puts up 2 minutes. We thought, fuck, if we get out of here 1-0, what a result. Sean takes his eye of the ball. Goes down in history, mate, bobbles, and 2-0.
Yeah.
Now, he put his first team out. Santos, what was his name?
Oh, I know who you're about.
It's my mate too.
Raphael.
My mate. My mate. And then the managed Spurs and all that there.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying after the game, well done guys, bravo. What? He wanted Wolves to beat us 10-0.
Nice.
So they would send the reserve over to Belfast. Because he didn't fancy it. It's the only time in my career, Johnny, I swear to God, my coaching career, I was standing on a football pitch. I just shook hands and spoke to Rui Patricio, who was a Portuguese international goalkeeper, and John Ruddy, who, I swear to God, mate, I shook his hand, I had to look up.
Right.
He's about 6'20", and he's about this wide. Speaking to him, England international. Adama Traore come over, spoke with him and Ruben Neves. And I looked round, mate, Molyneux, there's 32,000 people in the ground. And I just thought, what are you doing here?
I'm so aware of
How's a wee man from Glen? What are you doing here? Oh, mate, what a trip.
That's the joys of European football. You don't know who you're going to get. Yeah. That's a draw from the ages. But the good thing is, mate,
you want to see our pre-match team talk?
Right.
So, Stevie had the video and all set up. So we get the lads all in, we're all sitting around. The only footage we had of Wolves, they'd won the Asia Cup the week before. They beat Newcastle United 5-0 in the final. Right? So we're showing Wolves tanking Newcastle, right? And we're saying to Charlie O'Rourke, look at Traore's run there, Jordy. You go there, and Jordy's going out, dead on.
Quickest man.
I remember the first 50. I tell you what, in fairness to Jordy, what a game he had, by the way.
To be fair, Geordie's probably one of the most underrated left backs in the league too. So,
but I remember the first 50-50 went in for a shoulder charge with David Traore, mate.
Right.
He threw Jordy about like a wet sock.
I'm sure he did. Some man's like that. Do you know what I mean?
But Stevie got a spot on. But you're doing a team talk and you're watching Wolves play Newcastle.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh my God.
And then you come to the realisation too when you put out your starting 11 and you put out their starting 11 and you're sitting going, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
Like you're defending corners and you're saying to Chris Hegarty,
you're picking up.
Higgs, you pick your man Jot up. Whoever picked BJ picked Raul Jimenez up.
Yeah. So bad.
Dead on.
Everybody's sitting laughing, aren't they? Like it's...
Oh, man. And then we played them. Obviously, they're 2-0 up. So he had no choice, mate. He had to send the first team over. Mate, you could have filled Seaview 20 times over. And we got ready as best we could. We met in the, what do you call it? Hotel in Glentoran there.
Oh, Course Corner.
Course, met there for a pre-match and all. Got the bus down to Seaview, drive down to Seaview, mate. The place was bound.
Yeah.
And we were saying, just imagine, lads, if we take the lead, they'll crap themselves.
Yep.
We tight pitch, artificial pitch, 4,500, crowd standing on top of them. Don't fancy it. Don't fancy it. We take the lead. No, we're trying to give a bit of bravado and a bit of G up. What did we do? We took the lead.
Big chicken on it.
No,
It's not big
it
chicken.
was heats. I actually think it was an own goal.
Right. Doesn't matter.
But I'm nearly...
European goal
I can't
against
remember. I
Crusaders.
think it was heats. We went 1-0 up. All we did, and it was piss them off.
Aye.
Because all our boys, full of the hype and the adrenaline,
We've got
all
this now.
charged back to the centre circle, regrouped, and we thought, right, let's go again. 34 seconds later, mate, it's one each. Your man, Raul Jimenez. Oh my God, Johnny. Bish, bash, bosh, goal. Then it was 2-1, then 3-1, then 4-1. Here's it. Right, lads.
Everybody on the line.
Wind your neck in. But what an experience that was, mate.
I'm sure.
What an experience.
Well, it hasn't really came around since, has it? Like, probably not, but Maiden. Well, it probably will.
Larne had probably...
But
Larne last season, you know, there'd be half a chance of drawing Chelsea.
yeah.
But no real biggies have come since that, 2019. And then a couple of things happened at Crusaders, mate. You almost are the closest I've ever come to having a heart attack on a football pitch. When you scored that goal in that final. I'm claiming an assist for that, by the way.
Why?
Because we'd got it back to 1 each.
Yes.
And it was the 91st minute at the end of, no, the 121st minute, sorry. It was the last minute of extra time. And we get a corner. And Tuffers had come up out of his 18-yard box. And I just looked over at him. I says, Tuffers, go. I says, go. And he went, well, I says, go. And Stephen says, what are you doing? I says, Gaffer, there's 10 seconds left. He went, aye, all right. So Tuffs went up. Ball comes in. All I seen's Tuffers going up, mate, and heading it. And I thought he'd scored. And I was away down the touchline, mate, before the ball had hit the net. I didn't realise it was Josh that put it in to equalise. I'm away down the line. And I thought Tuffers had scored, but it wasn't he? And then, mate, of course, the one and only Mr. McMurray.
The goal.
Who 30 seconds before was almost getting the shepherd's hook.
What do you mean? How was I getting the shepherd's hook?
It's not very often a sub gets subbed.
See, if I had been double subbed in the Irish Cup final, I ain't got it buried, Stephen, and said that's just going off.
If in fairness, mate, if you remember the build-up, so you had a couple of chances before it, right? The first one you tried an overhead kick from God knows where.
Chances.
The second one you took a shot, mate, and it sort of near broke the corner flag.
It's okay.
And you know, Stephen, I can watch him. Get him off. I think Gaffer, we can't get him off.
Can't sub him off again, but no subs.
Right? But it was just the spur of the moment sort of thing.
Yeah.
Then the next thing, mate, ball comes up, bounces off Chicken's knee.
Shakira
Bang.
appeared. My hips opened up and I slapped one in the bottom corner.
How did that feel?
It's hard to explain. because you don't really think about anything because I was away running. So whenever I hit it, I'm watching it thinking it's in. So I'm kind of turning like he's not getting there.
Yeah.
And
did you watch the ball away into the net, or were you?
So as I'm turning, I can see kind of at the side of my head as if I'm looking back, and I'm starting to run because I'm like, Jordy's never getting down that, and I think he gets his fingers on it, kind of goes in the
right in the corner.
But the fans are over that side, and I'm over this side.
That side.
And that's always remember running into Leaper. I don't know Leaper from Adam. Barely met him, and I just remember just shaking Leaper's head, and he was just petrified, like, what the.
When did you decide to turn your shirt round the other way?
I don't know. I think that was as soon as I done it. I don't even remember doing that.
Is that right?
Don't know why. I've never done it before. I think I'd done it at Ballymena one time, a long time ago, and then.
Well, you know, we were determined to win the cup that year.
Like Stephen needed a new contract. You should all owe me. I got you all new jobs. Kept you all on the job.
No. Although we won it by the skin of our teeth, and Ballymena.
Rightly so. Ballymena battered us that day, to be honest.
Ballymena should have been out of sight.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's not over, it is over.
Well, no.
And then we got our own back the next year. We tanked them.
Before.
But the year before, if you recall, in 2021.
Oh, Larne.
That semi-final.
Larne semi-final, yeah.
You were at Larne then, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So we were 1-0 up.
Penalties were 6 penalties were taken again, or 3.
We were 1-0 up.
3.
Doing well. I think Ronan scored. Was it Ronan scored equaliser? Can't remember. Anyway,
might have been
1 each. Injury time, extra time, penalties. Andy Mitch comes up. Big Johnny Tuffy. What a save. Brilliant save. Referee's over.
Off a line.
You moved. Yeah, on. Wind your neck in. Mitch takes it again. Tuffer's absolute worldly. Down low, palms it up over the bar.
No.
You moved again. Give me a yellow card or something.
So Mitch scores after that.
Mitch scored, and then
Josh was next. So Mitch scores, and then I think you score, or was it down?
I can't remember.
Somebody missed.
Johnny saved another one.
But Josh steps up after Mitch. And Josh hits it. Johnny saved
Johnny saved it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you moved again.
Set them off. Yeah.
You're winding me up, aren't you? Stevie was going to take us off the park.
I remember.
Because it was an absolute farce, as far as I was concerned. As far as we were all concerned. Johnny gets sent off. Then BJ went in, and Josh. Did you take a penalty that day? Did they ever find the ball?
Don't want to talk.
Did they ever find it?
Don't really want to talk about that, to be honest.
Okay.
Found it now, to be fair. It was a hit. I think it hit that God Save Us wall at the back of Glentoran Stadium.
But I've always wanted to ask from somebody from the standing on the Larne side of the house.
Right.
What did you think? Did you think Crusaders have been shit on here?
I think we just, when you kind of came off, it was kind of like, this is utter madness. Like, we've just re-hit 3 penalties and got through a semi-final. Like, it was
Johnny was hardly done by.
Yes, 100%.
Hardly done by.
100%.
Tuffers
was a great fella too.
Tuffers brilliant, man. He and Tuffers.
That whole situation, the way it panned out, he had 3 penalties were retaken in a penalty shootout. And then I remember going over and saying to Stephen, I was like, what do you do there? And he's just like, I don't even know what to say to people.
That was incredible. It was the most surreal day. And there was nobody there because it was still COVID. Yeah. Imagine there had been 2,000 or 3,000 people there. They'd have went nuts. Because
we played Linfield in the final at Mornview.
Honestly,
now that was the first time there was 500 at that game, and it was.
I through being from Larne and all that there, it was the first time ever. I wasn't really sorry Larne got beat.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because of what went on in the semi-final. But that was. I just wanted to know what it was like from a Larne point of view.
I think it was very similar in terms of.
Yeah.
It was kind of like.
But
what is happening?
But then
this is mental.
What happened 3 weeks later? European playoff.
Was that Charlie? No, who hit that?
Who hit the penalty?
Was it Charlie O'Rourke, and he goes out off the bar.
So again, draw goes to penalties.
Yeah.
I can't remember whose penalty it was. I honestly can't remember. And he's clipped it, and it's hit the bar.
Yeah, I think it was Charlie.
And bounced out. So obviously we're in the dugout. We're miles away. Like, fair play, Cliftonville. Well done. Blah blah blah. Back into the dressing room, and all the TV footage is starting to come out. So the chairman brought, he says, look at this, look. The ball had bounced off the bar and bounced a good 1.5 feet over the line. It was in.
Yeah.
And we are going, I'm nuts. I'm not again, blah, blah, blah. In fairness to Stephen, and in fairness to Raymond Krangle, called Stephen out and down in solitude into one of the offices, reviewed the footage, and Raymond immediately put his hand up and says, I am so sorry. I have made the biggest mistake of my life. So whoever was on the line, and Raymond, the two of them, apologised unreservedly to Stephen.
Yeah.
Stephen just shook his hand. Stephen came back in and he says, right, I don't want to hear this mentioned again.
Yeah.
Bigger man has apologised. I accept that. He's made a mistake. That's life. We're out. Bad luck. We move on.
Yeah.
Fair play to him, because that was twice in like 3 weeks. We'd been shafted, really. But that Larne thing was that was the most mental day ever.
The only positive thing out of that was, me and you got to become friends after that.
We did, because we ended up in Gibraltar.
Yes, well, we did. But we ended up at Cruise. We ended up, obviously, at the Irish Cup. Then we ended up at Gibraltar and
oh, mate,
going to Basel and going to Switzerland.
What a trip that was.
I mean, you had some times.
We had brilliant, mate. Brilliant. It's funny how you just sort of click with people and say, I've always been very fortunate. And I mean, Johnny Tuffy came into the club.
Yeah.
Me and him clicked like that there. You know, Johnny's played at the highest level you can play at.
Yes.
13 international caps. He's
phenomenal.
Played in the biggest league in Scotland. He's played at Ibrox, Parkhead, Hampden, you name it. Mm-hmm. But me and him hit it off like that. Mm-hmm. So little wee tweaks to Johnny's game. I was suggesting just take a step here or take a step there or a wee bit more forward. See, in fairness to Tufts, took it all on board.
Yeah.
But he's seen the wee improvements. This guy's played at the highest level. I'm thinking, fuck am I to tell him?
Yeah.
Just absorbed it all, mate. Brilliant. What an athlete.
He's the nicest strike of a football I've ever seen.
Mate, it's frightening.
So clean.
Frightening. But that's an opinion that not everybody has, because I was told several times by some of the people on the bench at the Cruise, his kick was crap.
His kick crap. A pitch. Right, he floated in there, not.
Tuffer's brilliant. Me and him were brilliant.
Well, we got along straight away.
The Gibraltar trip was...
I think leading up to that trip, we had got on quite well.
We had.
And one thing that resurfaces for me all the time was I drew you in the Secret Santa.
Secret Santa, mate.
Best gift I've ever given anybody.
Oh my God.
Spent a lot of time on that.
I thought you'd done me a good turn.
I think so too.
Right?
But I got your nickname there.
Honest to God, mate. So imagine I brought that home and opened it in front of my ma.
It would have been unbelievable.
Right.
It's all different colours, no?
So here's me. Yeah, fuck, bought me this. Nice Nike pair of gloves, goalie gloves. I thought, that's far too much. That's really nice.
I actually spent about 40 quid now.
That's really nice. Thanks very much.
Destroyed them.
I can't believe this. So somebody bought Peter Thompson a tin of Head and Shoulders shampoo and a comb. There's more there in a cue ball. Spearsy bought somebody a monkey.
Right.
And somebody bought somebody else a toy, but it wasn't a child's toy.
Yeah.
So I'm opening this present up and I thought, that's really, really thoughtful, whoever that is. Thanks for opening it up. The palms of the gloves, mate. You get 5 fingers, 5
set
dicks. Right? I thought you are one.
They were all multicoloured and all.
Absolute.
They were brilliant. The hers and all, and veins and everything.
Everything.
It was well detailed.
And then Davy Dick fingers. I thought, McMurray, you were one.
That was kind of then. That kind of set us, and we were in.
Aye.
We went away in Europe, and that was a load of pints in after games, and
it's good.
So good.
And then we went to Basel, FC Basel.
We went to Basel. Man, what a team that was!
What a team they were.
God.
So again, mate, you're playing in the stadium where next week the women's European Championship final's been playing in.
Yeah.
What a stadium that was, by the way.
I always I always remember driving along, and they had about 7,000 or 8,000 fans, the ultras at the front, and then we're in doing the warm up, and the big gong, it's like a big Chinese
And
gong.
then they all come in.
And then the noise starts and they all flutter.
They all flutter.
And this is just in your warm-up. And everybody stopped and warm-up and like...
Put the fear of God up you.
About 7,000 ultras just sitting right along the back.
So again, mate, we were outstanding that night. Ben Kennedy was amazing that night.
He was.
Let's give Ben his credit. Ben was unbelievable. So he was. Defensively, we were sound.
Yeah.
Tuffers, the back line, midfield, it all gelled. All gelled. And I thought we were... I came out, it was roasting. 2-0 is a decent result. But we had a wee chance, Johnny, to make it 2-1, if you recall.
Well, we did.
What happened there, Jonathan?
Well, we did. Stephen didn't make the sub earlier.
To take you off?
To bring me on.
Oh, I thought you meant to
That's
bring me off.
Probably going to keep me
Sorry.
on at this stage.
Okay.
Because I felt we were well in the game.
You were, mate.
They were down to 10 men.
That's right.
And then they still dominated the first half, but they dropped off in the second half. And they were playing Fabian Frey, the Swiss. He was the captain for Switzerland at the time. They put him in the centre half. And I remember getting the ball and running him, and I was like, I'll get past him here. And the ball came in the game, and I knocked around the corner, and he just kind of palmed me out of the way. Then I was like, but then the ball broke out the other side, down the right hand.
Somebody whipped it in.
Geordie for Scythe. So I played a 1-2 with Geordie, and Geordie whipped into the box. And I've never focused so hard on heading the ball in my life, and I've never headed a ball cleaner.
Yeah.
And I remember swinging my whole head at it, and thinking the goalkeeper's going that way, and the same as you said about
the
hand.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way he's...
Aye, mate.
And he just sprawled back. He kind of like jumped one way and just went, boom. And I was like...
So you imagine us on the bench.
How on earth did he get that? Because I was like...
We're saying the opposite.
I'm on the ground and I get up thinking, I'm away.
Aye.
And I remember just getting up and seeing the ball bouncing in front of me, and the boy comes in and just clears it.
So can you imagine us sitting on the bench?
Yeah.
At the other end of the...
Stevie.
So it was over to our left.
That was probably...
So you're sitting there thinking, how the hell did he get that? And we're sitting thinking, how in the name of... Did he miss that?
It wasn't as close as what people think. It was like the edge of the box, but it was the way the ball was curling. I was able to run and attack it, and I was like...
It was one of them. It was one of them.
And he was... I remember saying to him after, and he, like everybody's like, that was that save. I remember sitting in the change room with my head in my hands. I was near crying. I was like...
But see, when we seen it back in the TV...
You're just sitting going, that's
a worldie he's pulled off there.
Because I remember getting in, I remember just sitting on the ground.
I
was thinking to myself, hey, we could have went 2-1 there.
And then, again, you bring them back to save you.
Oh, we went 1-0 up.
You fucking played them off the park.
We battered them.
3-1 each.
Deal with, that's it for the chicken plate.
But again, Ben missed a great chance after 2 or 3 minutes in the first half.
6-yard box, he had a chance, yeah.
But we drew them 1 each.
Yeah.
What a night that was. And then the year after, we went and played Rosenborg.
Oh, I wasn't there, so that doesn't count.
And they beat us, and we were 6 minutes away from penalties.
Yeah.
Heats get sent off. Mate, I'm not even going to lie to you. Johnny Tuffy that night, mate. See if you get a minute. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Johnny Tuffy was unbelievable, honestly.
Well, he is, and I think he is.
I mate.
And I think after the Basel trip, the Gibraltar and the Basel trip, he was the only person staying to drink for me because I was trying to wind Stephen up.
Oh, you wind him up all right?
He was the only person that
you wind him up all right?
The only person that sat in the drink.
Do you remember in Gibraltar?
Oh God, I remember Gibraltar.
Do you remember the instructions you were given before the game?
Yes. Tell him. Come on. People won't believe me if I tell them, that's fine.
Oh, mate. So it's roasting. They made us play at 6 o'clock at night because there's a something in Gibraltar where the air is really, really heavy and around the mountain. If you remember, the pitch was at the bottom of the rock. And I remember Baxter saying to you, don't you be on the boot like a headless chicken. Save your energy. Let them have the ball in the final third. You patrol and just basically do doggies side to side. Just patrol across the park. Dead on, Gaffer. Ready to go. I'm ready.
I was in at this stage, so I was buzzing.
I'm ready to go. Here, I'm in. I'm playing here. Brilliant. Do you remember after about 10 minutes? So you're doing doggies back and forward, and whatever happened, the ball broke, and you didn't run. You didn't go after it. All you had to do was sprint forward, and you didn't go. Stephen's out saying, why did you not close it down? And you turned, have you got dementia? Says, you told me not to do that. You told me to do doggies. I couldn't.
That was probably the downfall there, to be honest.
That was probably the beginning of the...
Well, probably beginning of the end there. I was only in. Madness.
Stephen gave me a wild funny night one night. Limavady in the League Cup. Yeah, we played them. We were absolutely crap. Oh, we were. You know what the dugouts are like in Limavady?
Yeah.
We were woeful, mate. First half, terrible. So Stephen went out to give somebody a ball again, mate, but he forgot the roof of the dugout was quite low. So he stood up in a fit of anger, mate, and all we heard was the...
Straight in.
Stood right up, mate, and you're not...
He would just stand there too.
Mate, he'd stand on his head. The Spearsy says, first one to laugh. Right. Then he couldn't hold it.
Yeah.
Fairness, mate. We went on and tanked him, but that was the funniest thing ever. Wasn't he funny for Stephen, like, in your looking side?
And I got to give Stephen a lot of credit, because my time at Cruise was, you were there. You knew the frustrations that came with it, and the conversations that me and him had probably conflict. Do you know what I mean? Just more so than anything. But outside of football, he's one of the nicest. Yeah. The nicest.
Honestly.
And couldn't do much more for you, to be honest. But that's football times.
Couple of things happened when I was at the Cruise, and that for me, mate, is when the Cruise showed their true colours in terms of what they're like as a club.
Right.
Okay, so a couple of years ago my brother died, and mate, just out of the blue, just made the support. I mean, Ken, you know, and Frankie are all, you know, intertwined through the churches they go to. And Barney was brilliant, mate, and Stephen was just to support the club, gave me at that time. And then Stephen had left the club then, and Daggy came in. And that was the first, Johnny, I'd really muted the idea of, I need to, the time's come here, right? It was last October, actually. And my dad wasn't well. And I just kept thinking, I need to be there for my dad. Oh, to be honest, my left knee's seen better days, mate. It's hanging off me at the minute. And I spoke to Declan and I spoke to Johnny. I said, Johnny, I just want to give you a heads up, mate. I'm thinking and Robin at the end of the season. And fairness to Tuffers, mate, he just give me a hug and says, whatever you need, mate, because he knew my dad wasn't well. So as it happens, I lost my dad there in April. And again, mate, Stephen wasn't even at the club and phoned me. He says, I don't want to send you a message. I don't want to come to the house. He says, I want to speak to you personally. And me and him were on the phone for about half an hour, mate. What a man. Yeah. Honestly. What a man.
Yeah.
So much respect for him. Took time out, phoned me personally. Spoke about his father. Obviously, his mother's now not keeping great health, and I hope that's all going okay for him. But really, really helpful support in and around my dad going.
Yeah.
Then when my dad went, mate, and I just knew, at training, mate, my left knee's killing me. I've torn something in my knee, and I just knew I need to stop this. I need to do more. Because I remember when Scotty Irvine was on, he said football sort of, you're in a bubble. Yeah. You're in a football sort of cocoon where nothing else in the world matters. You know, you're trying to plan a family holiday. Well, we need to go here, close season. Or you want to go to a concert, you're looking at your diary saying, we're training that night. Yeah. I need to do this. You just get so absorbed and engrossed in football. And you take a step out of it, and there's a big world out there that I've sort of missed for 20 years. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had a fantastic career.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But I need now to spend more time at home. I need to look after my ma, my daughter, my son. I see my son 4 times in a year, and that's not good enough.
No.
So I'm going over in August here to see him. Again, it's a match weekend. And see, when I was booking it, the mindset was there. We were booking it, and I went, second game of the league. I said, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So just things you got, mate.
Well, it's nice to know that you're out of it and you're positive about being out of it, because
Mate,
it is a bubble, and
can't go on forever.
no, it doesn't need to either.
Do you know what I mean?
Because let's be honest, you can always come to me. You can sit on the best podcast in the country, talk about your life, and then you can go watch a match with me on a Saturday.
Get a coffee pot.
Have coffees, go have whiskies.
Don't start me in the whiskey, mate.
You know what I mean?
That's bad news.
But listen, thank you. It's
Yep.
been a pleasure. It's probably been close to an hour and 45 and all.
Wait a
That's
minute.
the swear. That's how good the conversation's been. So listen, I really want to thank you. It's been a pleasure, and all the times that we had at Crusaders,
Brilliant, mate.
they'll be memories
good guys.
for a lifetime.
You want a football?
We do
good
hugs
guys.
on this place. So
I'm not
Bring it
bringing
in.
hugs, mate.
Come
I'll
on.
give you a hug.
hugs, man. Hugs on me.
Right, pal.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Pleasure.
Cheers, pal.
Guys, join us next week on the On the Spot Football Podcast. Actually, I'm on holiday. I'm going to take 2 weeks off. This is the 20th episode that we've done. We really appreciate the support. We'll put a lot of clips on, probably from our best bits over the 20 episodes. Tune in for those, and we'll be back hopefully the week of the 11th. See you soon.